Elena Vargas had always been the architect of her own destiny, a woman who turned obstacles into stepping stones with the sheer force of her will. Born with the rare spinal condition that confined her to a wheelchair by the age of 10, she refused to let it define her. Instead, she channeled her frustration into ambition, climbing the corporate ladder with the ferocity that left competitors in the dust. By 35, she was the CEO of Innovatic, a tech firm revolutionizing accessibility tools for the disabled. Ironic, perhaps, but deeply personal. Her days were a whirlwind of meetings, mergers, and motivational speeches, where she inspired thousands with her mantra, "Limitations are illusions, innovation is the key." But beneath the polished exterior, Elena harbored a quiet take, a loneliness that no boardroom victory could fill. Romances had come and gone, fleeting like shadows, often scared off by her independence or intimidated by her success. Who needs love when you have legacy? She'd tell herself. But weddings, they were her Achilles heel, reminders of what society deemed normal happiness. This particular wedding was her cousin Maria's, held in a sprawling vineyard estate under the golden California sun. Elena arrived early, her custom wheelchair gliding smoothly over the manicured paths, her emerald gown shimmering with subtle sequins that caught the light just right. She had chosen it herself, a symbol of defiance, elegant, bold, unapologetic. As guests mingled, exchanging air kisses and compliments, Elena positioned herself at a corner table, sipping champagne and observing the festivities like a spectator at a play. Children darted between legs, their giggles a symphony of innocence, while couples swayed to the prelude music, lost in each other's eyes. Elena smiled politely when approached, engaging in small talk about business trends or the bride's choice of flowers, but the conversations were superficial, evaporating as quickly as they began. No one asked about her dreams beyond the office, or the poetry she wrote in secret notebooks late at night. She was the inspiring CEO, a label that both elevated and isolated her. As the ceremony commenced, Elena watched from the back row, her heart twisting with a mix of joy for Maria and envy she dared not admit. The vows echoed the promises of forever, through sickness and health, and Elena's mind wandered to her own life. At 28, after a grueling surgery that improved her mobility but not her romantic prospects, she had sworn off dating apps and setups from well-meaning friends. "I'm complete on my own," she'd declare, but in quiet moments, doubt crept in. What if her wheelchair was an invisible barrier, repelling potential partners before they saw the fire in her soul? The reception followed, tables laden with gourmet delights and an open bar flowing freely. Elena navigated to her assigned seat, alone at a table of couples who chatted animatedly about honeymoons and family plans. She excused herself early from the small talk, wheeling to a quieter spot near the dance floor's edge, where she could watch without being engulfed. That's when she first noticed him. Lucas Harper, a single dad in his late 30s, with tousled dark hair and eyes that crinkled with genuine warmth. He was chasing after his 4-year-old daughter, Mia, who was twirling in a fluffy pink dress, her laughter infectious. Lucas scooped her up effortlessly, planting a kiss on her forehead before setting her down to play with other kids. He wasn't the typical wedding guest, no flashy suit, just a simple navy blazer over jeans, practical yet charming. Elena had overheard snippets earlier. He was the groom's best friend from college, a graphic designer who had lost his wife to cancer 2 years ago. Raising Mia alone, he balanced freelance work with PTA meetings and bedtime stories, his life a testament to quiet resilience. As the band struck up a slow melody, Lucas scanned the room, his gaze landing on Elena. She quickly looked away, pretending to check her phone, but he approached anyway, Mia trailing behind him like a little shadow. "Hi there," Lucas said, his voice steady and kind, not a trace of pity. "I'm Lucas, and this is Mia. We couldn't help but notice you sitting here all by yourself. Mind if we join you?" Elena blinked, caught off guard. People usually offered awkward condolences or avoided eye contact altogether. "Sure," she replied, her CEO poise kicking in. "I'm Elena." Mia climbed onto a nearby chair, her eyes wide with curiosity. "Your chair has wheels, like a race car," she exclaimed, and Elena laughed a real, unguarded laugh. "It is pretty fast," she said, demonstrating a quick spin that made Mia clap. Lucas smiled, pulling up a seat. They talked easily, about everything and nothing, Mia's love for dinosaurs, Elena's latest tape that translated sign language in real time, Lucas's quirky designs for children's books. For the first time in ages, Elena felt seen, not as a symbol of inspiration, but as a person with stories and quirks. As the night deepened, the dance floor filled with swaying bodies. Mia tugged at Lucas's sleeve, begging to dance, but he hesitated, glancing at Elena. "You know," he said suddenly, a spark in his eyes, "I came here without a date. Mia's great company, but she's got 2 left feet like her dad." Mia giggled, and Elena felt a flutter in her chest. "Would you be my date for the evening?" Lucas asked, extending his hand. The question hung in the air, simple yet profound. Elena's mind raced to doubts about accessibility, stares from others, but his sincerity cut through it all. She placed her hand in his, and together, they moved toward the floor. Lucas pushed her wheelchair gently, Mia holding her other hand, and they found a rhythm in the midst of the crowd. It wasn't a traditional dance, but it was their spins, laughs, and a connection blooming like the vineyard's vines. The evening unfolded in waves of emotion. Elena shared her fears of vulnerability, how success had built walls around her heart. Lucas opened up about grief, the nights he questioned if he was enough for Mia. They bonded over shared battle, his against loss, hers against societal expectations. As toasts rang out and cake was cut, Elena realized this wasn't just a polite gesture, it was a bridge between 2 worlds. Mia fell asleep on Elena's lap, her tiny head resting trustingly, and Lucas whispered, "Thank you for making this night special." Elena's eyes misted for once. She wasn't alone in the shadows. The chapter of solitude was closing, paving the way for something unexpected and beautiful. The morning after the wedding dawned bright and crisp, with the vineyard mist rolling off the hills like a gentle sigh. Elena woke in her hotel room, the events of the previous night replaying in her mind like a cherished film reel. Lucas's question, "Will you be my date?" Had been more than words. It was an invitation to step out of her self-imposed isolation. She checked her phone, half expecting it to have been a dream, but there it was, a text from an unknown number. "Hey, it's Lucas." Mia hasn't stopped talking about the wheelchair princess she danced with. "Coffee sometime?" A smile spread across her face, warm and unbidden. For years, Elena had armored herself against rejection, but this felt different, genuine, without agenda. She typed back quickly, "I'd love that. How about tomorrow?" Their first coffee date was at a cozy cafe, copyright near Elena's office, accessible ramps and all. Mia tagged along, coloring dinosaurs while the adults talked. Lucas shared stories of his late wife, Sarah, how her battle with cancer had taught him to cherish fleeting moments. "She made me promise to keep living, not just surviving," he said, his voice steady but laced with emotion. Elena opened up about her childhood, the bullies who called her broken, and how she turned pain into purpose through innovating. "I build tools to empower others, but sometimes I forget to empower myself," she admitted. Mia, sensing the depth, hugged Elena tightly. "You're strong like a T-Rex," she declared, and laughter broke the tension. What started as coffee stretched unto lunch, then a walk in the park where Lucas pushed Elena's chair along winding paths, Mia skipping ahead. As weeks turned to months, their connection deepened. Lucas introduced Elena to his world of messy art sessions in his home studio, where paint splattered everywhere, and bedtime rituals reading The Giving Tree. Elena, in turn, brought him into hers, high-stakes presentations where she commanded rooms, and quiet evenings coding prototypes that could change lives. Challenges arose. Of course, Lucas worried about Mia's attachment if things didn't work out. Elena feared her demanding schedule might push him away. One evening, after a grueling day at work, Elena snapped at Lucas over a minor mix-up with plans. "I don't need saving," she said sharply, wheeling away. But he followed, gently taking her hand. "I'm not here to save you, Elena. I'm here to stand with you." Tears fell then, barriers crumbling as they talked through the night, forging understanding from vulnerability. Mia's 5th birthday became a milestone. Elena organized a dinosaur-themed party at an accessible venue, complete with interactive exhibits from her company's partners. Lucas watched in awe as Elena engaged the kids, her wheelchair no barrier to her energy. "You're amazing," he whispered later, as they cleaned up. That night, under a sky dotted with stars, Lucas knelt beside her chair. "Elena, you've shown me that love isn't about perfection, it's about partnership. Will you be more than my date? Will you be my everything?" Her yes was immediate, sealed with a kiss that tasted of promise. Word spread quickly, colleagues at Innovatech cheered, and even skeptical family members warmed to Lucas's quiet strength. Their journey wasn't without hurdles. Public scrutiny came with Elena's profile articles dubbing them the unlikely power couple, some praising the inclusivity, others whispering doubts. A particularly harsh online troll questioned if Lucas was settling, but Elena shut it down with a viral post, "Love sees souls, not seats." Lucas supported her through a company crisis, staying up late to brainstorm solutions, while she attended Mia's school events, advocating for better accessibility. They traveled together, adapting adventurous wheelchair-friendly hikes, adaptive skiing, approving limitations were merely invitations to innovate. Mia flourished, calling Elena Mommy Elena one day, melding hearts and solidifying their family unit. As their first anniversary approached the day of that fateful wedding, Lucas planned a surprise vow renewal at the same vineyard. Friends and family gathered, Mia as flower girl in a wheelchair-pushing parade. Elena, in a gown echoing her original, wheeled down the aisle to Lucas's waiting arms. From that inspiring moment, he vowed, "You've inspired every day since." Tears flowed freely, a testament to growth, resilience, and love's quiet power. Their story became a beacon, inspiring others to look beyond surfaces, to ask the questions that bridge divides.